Good morning, good day, good light and great love. Guardians of Gaia, angels of the earth, the elements of which we are made, and the elementals that joined us in the making of this beautiful place. The place that we came to heal, transform, and transport us all to higher consciousness, thinking, being. Remind us of our multidimensionality. For everything of the earth is a reflection of that multidimensionality. And you are the gods and goddesses that created and co-created this world. By quieting our minds, we become reconnected. On this Goddess Friday, we're reminded of the gods and goddesses that we are. That everything we see before us is a reflection of who and where we are in our belief systems, what we believe to be true for ourselves. What we perceive is our reality. And when we're falling away, feeling the experience of falling away from that perfect vibration, we're reminded that we are gods and goddesses, that we, our minds, are created in our consciousness, that we are the gods and goddesses of our thoughts, and a belief is just simply a thought you keep thinking. Allow these blessings to remind us of the power that we have within us, for we are the creators of our bodies in co-creation with our soul. We create a physical mind, a physical body, to create a magnificent, extraordinary experience. This is why you came. To remember your power, to remember that your mind and body is within your consciousness. And as we co-create this collective consciousness, and share that experience with all that is and all that we are, we transform, and the winds of change blow our reality in every direction in ways that we can't even imagine. But yet we've chosen to be surprised, chosen to forget, allowing the knowing that your perfect timing is created by you, for you, with you. And what you think and what you believe in that moment becomes your experience. And yet we are so powerful as the gods and goddesses of our reality. For we are the reflection of God, the mirrors of Source. We are all that is experiencing itself as all of us. And again, also sharing and experiencing and tapping into all of the multiple dimensional realities and all the other beings that we are. Sharing the momentum and of the triumphs. And the trials and the challenges. And yet it is in the expansion and the sharing of these ideals, ideas, beliefs, that each and every being and each and every now becomes more and more aware of itself because of you, because of us. And there's only a belief that you do or do not create your own reality. That your body and your mind is created within your consciousness on a quantum level. Every single breath is a quantum experience. A multi-dimensional, infinite experience with an infinite number of aspects of the mirror that you are. Tapping into all of those, feeling their stories. Everything is now. The past and the present are simply a belief structure to have a physical experience. But everything is now. That's extraordinary. That's magical. Timora Liana Maloko Periasha Soko Unte Shiro Corintiasa Use Tehela Nibani Milako de Beheno Malako Sivisha Moto Kulyanda Vakosha Mashima Tezambia Shona Kaliana Bakaliasa Te Entea Koko Vaja Mitele Isumo Kulushu Tivashana Kalena Nayato. And the pendulum swings back and forth as you experience polarity. And then once again experience the stillness, the integration of these new understandings. Every experience is equal and as perfect as each and every other experience. in a perfect harmony, perfect timing. Allow this knowing to rest within you, to discover the inner peace in that knowing and that allowing and letting go. Surrender is simply surrendering to the power that you already have. Nishmiado se te ishnasa tima no miyako teva. Ashanikisa tabi elisha na kiala vasano. Mantivlani auto visama atela kushana sabalo. Neogosha na savese na pialogosha vati. Na ikulesha masumote hatu. Nawa atuvasha na se entea. Klantu diashonomoku. Ivada sono chiara sete.
Netiaka, Uanate Inana, Uaneti Kanetuanana, Tanu Anata Ekan to Uanata.
Neshimeato vekelosha la sono. Eplia sono kure shete entia. Miseve somusa, Kanyanda vekelana malavashua. Mashama kea shamana galia sovashotuya. Nisimbo suma ileteva. Anamana atavakosho. Sanataya kotiva shanose. Kalishano TV inte. Sivishua kiyashano TV isoma. Mio poya tevishiana malete. Nisivasho utuve. Misi vecino meavaruke si vesho, anakelenda esuno, mi bore she ete, anata. All is in absolute, divine, and perfect timing. It is simply our perception. If there's anything else. Great blessings to all of you on this
Goddess Friday.
Yes, on this miraculous Goddess Friday.
Happy Goddess Friday.
Any other words about experience, polarity, perfect timing, knowing?
Well, since everything is a reflection, you get to decide the reflection you want to see by creating the reflection in the mirror. Smile in the mirror.
And the only way for the mirror to smile back is for you to smile first. It is only from that frequency.
And nature comes from within. And you are nature. So by connecting more with nature, you get to experience more nature and the beauty of nature.
What would you like to see in your reflection? Shimiteve sonoma, alakiteva shanoseve simotuya. Bisho utuva sinise ti intiala.
Sometimes the easiest way to connect with nature is to get down on your hands and knees and get your hands dirty.
Yes. I love the feeling. Of the ground beneath my hands.
And no matter what you're doing, all the nature spirits are there with you, excited for you and with you, and helping.
Always helping. Is there something you might be able to offer in a morning blessing in Hebrew?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just a word?
Well, one of the most basic blessings that you say and start your day with is the Shema in Hebrew. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
And translated?
The translation typically goes, Hear, O Israel, the Lord is God and the Lord is one.
The one is the all.
The all is
And
the
the all
one.
is the one.
And we are the all and the one.
Just like these chimes, all of us existing one next to the other, and no matter how we interact with each other, it sounds a little bit different each and every time. And yet they're all at the same time bumping into each other, making beautiful music.
And we're all connected. All things are connected since all things are one. We just create the illusion of the separation. So we can see each little piece individually and wholly. Holy, holy.
Well, I have to say, since this new moon, I've felt a wave of this collective energy transformation of negativity. This feeling I've been having of all of this wave of all of us transforming these ideas of abandonment, of rejection. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. And we're waking up together from that illusion that it is not. I want to say that the healing is really just the awakening, the understanding, the knowing that they're simply beliefs that we have been buying into for millennia, really. And that is the illusion. That's the spiritual awakening. That's the ascension process, is realizing that all along.
And if the belief is based in fear, that's a pretty good indication that it's probably not your belief.
If it's indicative of separation, of I tell you, the words are just seem to just not come to me. I have been in such spiritual connection that it seems like my human words can't seem to articulate and really display what it is that I'm feeling.
Well, so spirit communicates, and I say spirit because it's your higher self, but also connection to all things, in symbols and energy and emotions. And all you really have to do is look around at what you're showing right now and view the beauty of it all. And it's breathtaking. There are no words to describe it.
That's a very good way of putting it too, because when you see something so magnificent, whether it's a baby or a puppy or a beautiful landscape, a sunset, a sunrise, a tree, a bird, anything that brings you that ultimate feeling of joy, is there just are not there's no other language, and that's where to even express that, and I so often, that's why I express myself in light language, because it's the language of all of my souls and my oversouls, and my connection to all of you and to all that is, and all the other aspects of me and my guides and your guides. It's all coming through simultaneously.
Cryon talks about the idea of holding a baby for the first time and all the love that you feel for the baby, from the baby, from everything that brought you to that point. And that's the love feeling that is available to you all the time if you just allow it in.
And that really is the bottom line, because it's either love or fear. Because when we're not feeling that love, then we're fearing something. We're thinking something that is that God's source, your higher self, does not agree with you. That is where the discord comes in.
And it's a good thing, because that's telling you.
It's just a compass.
It's telling you you're thinking something, you're feeling something that's not in alignment with who you truly are, and it's an alarm. So it's not meant to cause you discomfort. It's meant to tell you you're going the wrong way. If you want to, you could enjoy going the wrong way.
Hey, and I fall into those little holes all the time. But the difference is that we know we have the tools to pick ourselves up and say, wait a second, I don't have to believe that. I don't have to believe that.
And part of the human experience up until now has been pretty much the idea of getting as lost as you possibly can in the woods and having no idea where you are or where to go, and the fun and excitement of finding your way home.
And sometimes don't we just do that on purpose? Sometimes we get lost so that we can find ourselves again. That reminds me of the song, one of my favorite songs, the Moody Blues, The Other Side of Life. And now I'll have to play it today just because I want to hear it again. But it really does say a lot about that. So I'll put the link if you guys aren't familiar with the song. It's an oldie but goodie. But it really is, stepping out onto the other side of your life. It's either love or fear.
I'm just reminded of Dorothy finding out she's been home all along.
And all the players in the play, right? And her, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there. It is so funny how many times we've all said that the Wizard of Oz is just a metaphor for our reality. Our birds are very talkative today. Well, always, but And so we just wanted to take this few minutes with all of you to calm your mind so you can hear the messages loud and clear from your guides, your source, your God, your higher selves, to remind you of the power that you are, the gods and goddesses that we all are in creating our reality, even when we don't believe that.
And everything has consciousness. And as we focus our attention to whatever it might be, we're not only seeing reflections for ourselves, but we're allowing ourselves to reflect back consciousness into the things that we're interacting with. And we spend a lot of time talking to the bushes and the birds and asking permission and explaining our intentions.
It's very true. Very, very true. We treat everything as a consciousness, a sentient being that we're interacting with, whether it's a plant, an animal, a rock, a human. If we truly understood that everything that we were dealing with, every person was, if we really could look in the eyes of that person and see that that is simply a reflection of ourselves, that person is the version that you are creating of them, and yet at the same time, they're having their very own experience as well. And yes?
I was just going to say, I look at the bushes laying on the ground, which I'm hoping tomorrow will be gone. And, it seems sad. The initial reaction is sadness.
Yes.
We cut down all these bushes. But that's just a belief.
Well, but they're not gone. They're just
Right.
trimmed all the way down, and they
So-
will continue to grow.
What actually we've done is give all the bushes, most of the bushes, because we did remove a few things.
Yeah.
But we've given everything an opportunity for new life and new experiences. And already we're seeing some birds scope out the areas
New
that
places.
are remaining to find their new homes and decide what they want to do and how they want to interact with us. And of course, we'll be adding more things for the birds and animals, and
Yep.
and the bees and the
And the hummingbirds.
So we're actually inviting new and more things into our little bubble of
Exactly. And sometimes,
happiness.
with spring coming here in the northern hemisphere, there's that whole adage about spring cleaning, and yet that really is what we all sort of need to do is our own spring cleaning. Sometimes we have to start fresh, and Dave and I talk about this a lot, because where are we still, all of us still making decisions based upon the past, what we perceive as the past, the person that was. Oh, I did that before, I tried that before, and it didn't work. That is not you anymore. You are not that person at all. And we decide moment by moment. That is what past trauma is. It's not acknowledging it. It's, where do I want to focus now? By acknowledging it, that it's there doesn't diminish it by focusing on something different.
And every little change, as small as it might be within yourself,
Every
is a
little change.
completely new reality.
Let's just say you, like me, I'm thirsty. It's like, okay, I'm going to drink one more glass of water a day. And when I do that, I'm going to bless the water, and I'm going to talk to the water, because we know that singing and vibration changes the structure of the water. It changes the way it molecularly reacts. It's a fact. And since we're mostly water, the same thing happens to us. So we know this stuff already. We don't need to channel this stuff. We already know it. And it's innate. It's in us. It's within us. So every little change changes every single other cog, because everything affects everything.
And it's up to you how much of a change you want to experience. You could do a little. We could have cut one bush at a time, or we could do the whole thing.
Start fresh.
And
there's a lot of these experiences that I personally, we have been, and sometimes we may think these things are trivial in comparison to what's going on in the world, for example. But it's by raising our vibration, by focusing on this, is what literally brings us to the new version of reality that we prefer, where peace is the only way. And me myself making my own decisions about even the fabrics that no longer resonate with me, that I fought for so long to keep things that don't resonate with me anymore, don't fit, and I mean that figuratively, spiritually, literally, and starting over and making the decisions. Just start over, even if it's one thing at a time, one piece at a time, and creating a whole new cycle of abundance in all ways. We're not talking about money. We're talking about the cycling of things and the recycling of things, and also understanding where have we been believing that things are recyclable when they're not. They're just not. And when we begin to act in ways, whether it's composting, whether it's taking your trash to and having that recycled, but yet we're beginning to understand something on a higher level, that it's not about necessarily recycling, it's about coming up with new ways so that we eliminate the need to create these products to begin with, and making different decisions. And when all of us, all of you, teachers of the teachers, and the teachers of the children that are going to be the adults of tomorrow in whatever reality we're following in this moment, they are the ones who are going to change the world. They're the ones who are going to come up with the new ideas and the new innovations. And by allowing our children to be themselves, to focus on the things that excite them, because when they're excited, they're creative, they're thriving, they're excited to make these changes in the world. And again, it's not about changing the world we're on, it's about changing the you and moving to that version of reality, because there's billions of infinite realities that we can choose from. But the idea is acting on it, acting as if, and then that is that catapults us, it shifts us to that new reality. And we're the ones who are teaching these children. And actually these children are teaching us.
And we have no idea how big of an impact even the slightest things that we do have. And it's actually not any of our business. But I can tell you, our neighbors drive by here and they pay attention to everything that's going on.
Everything. Oh, we met a new neighbor yesterday. She just pulled right up and just, she wasn't.
So people drive by and they see
activity.
They are caring for their property. They're not just a bunch of city slickers that showed up and want to pay people to do everything for them. They're out there working. They're out there gardening. They're out there cutting the bushes and trimming the trees and all this other stuff. And a
synchronicity would have it. I'm talking about in videos over there about shoring this up. Well, then we find she drove in to tell us that there's a little pump house up there that redirects the flow of the water up from the mountain, and that the drain was clogged, and that's why it's spilling more over into our yard. So see, just by allowing ourselves, following our highest joy and excitement, moment by moment, just coming out here and loving our place, she recognized that love and stopped by to say, we noticed that you're getting this water, and that's why it's happening. And so just call the city and let them know, and they'll come out and take care of it for us. So right off the bat, that's abundance. So even in addition to still wanting to keep the hill from eroding, but that's part of the abundance. Is now we found out, well, that's another way to keep the hill from eroding, is to make sure that the water flow that's already in place is actually working properly, and letting the people know who it's their highest joy and excitement to maintain these things, to then remedy the situation. So that's abundance. And just so you guys know too, we made sure that there was no eggs or living babies in any of these trees before. We respect everything. And so
and we were also wanted to be sure that we got this done
before that happened, because we know it's only going to be a matter of time, and they're going to be beginning to lay their eggs, and so we knew that it was only a matter of time. And so to be in harmony with everything, and so there's all kinds of things that we wanted to share with you guys about that too, which is always topics for other videos. And so this bridge between science and spirituality and nature, and there is no need for a bridge, because we're the only ones who ever separated it to begin with. There's no need for a bridge. We just have to know that it's already open to us. The bridge is open. And that all of those things all exist in tandem simultaneously, whether we recognize that or not.
We're pretending that there's a bridge and there's something on the other side. When everything is here and now, so all the things are always here and now with you, and there is nowhere to go. There is no bridge on the other side to go to. It's always available 100%. Wherever you are, however you are, if you're in nature, if you're not in nature, it's always there and available.
And I love now here that when I'm inside the house, these two windows, there's a hallway there, and with my laundry, and now that the bushes are cut down here, there's more light in there. It's just more welcoming. It's more welcoming here now. So it's all about welcoming each other into each other's lives just by being you, doing what you love and what excites you. And I know we've heard this a bazillion times, but it's because we're still not doing it. So as we every morning ask ourselves, what is our highest joy and excitement today? Because if we know that that's our highest joy and excitement today, then that's what we're supposed to be doing that day, or we wouldn't be excited to be doing it. And the timing of it. It happens every single time. We don't know necessarily some things, of course, we have to plan, but the idea is we go by our instincts in even the planning. We feel when the days are right to go do these trips or, run our errands, and we just know it's going to be the perfect timing. It was kind of like, we never shared that little story about when we went into the Marvins over there. And we went in to buy a little tiny bag of sand, and we're walking around, couldn't find it. So we asked the gentleman that works there, where are the bags of sand? And because we just needed just enough to spread the poppy seeds in the snow. Anyway, there was a gentleman checking out right in front of us, right before we were ready to tell the cashier that we wanted a bag of sand. And he says, "Oh, I overheard that you were needing a little sand." He says, "I've got a little bit left over in my truck. You're welcome to it. I was using it to spread flower seeds, and I didn't need to use it all, and it just happens to be in my truck today. Would you like it?" And we saved us a bag of sand, which was only what, a few dollars,
Yeah.
but it was it was probably something I will always remember. It was the strangest thing, and it was a beautiful day. We walked outside. He brought the sand right over to us, and you know, and wished us a beautiful day and happy planting flower seeds. And so angels are everywhere.
And not only that, I mean, so there was supposedly the sand was out in the lumber yard.
Right.
So we would have had to go out in the lumber yard to get the sand. But our looking for the sand and not finding it and having to ask also gave him the opportunity
Yes.
to decide, do I want to do something nice today? And do I want to help others? And so he got the, our little adventure of looking for
Yeah,
sand
and
gave him the opportunity to do something nice that he might not have otherwise been able to do. And we don't know. He might be still talking about the nice people that he met that he gave sand to.
So it's all of those little interactions that remind us that everything really is in perfect timing for us. You know, we've got stuff going on here. You know, a lot of times it may seem as if, you know, we're in la la fairy lovey land, which we are, but it's not without its challenges. Let me tell you. I mean, there's projects that are being I don't want to say held up, because I have to. I just said that to Dave this morning. I have to remember it's all in perfect timing, no matter what I perceive it as. Even if something, you know, oh, I haven't gotten a response in weeks or months, or, you know, or I keep calling and don't get a call back, or, you know,
Some of it is so ridiculous.
it's like crazy.
That
it can only
be
be that it's
not real.
supposed to be for our highest good, because we're thinking there's no real reason for this stuff to be, you know, for these delays. And so, but we have found out since the time we really focused last July, and some other circumstances that literally created our situation to change. It was such an almost an abrupt thing that it was like 1 minute we were like, oh, you know, maybe we should be moving back to nature and change the seasons, and then all of a sudden the the rug gets pulled out from under us, so to speak, and all of a sudden it became an urgency that, okay, now we have to move. And so it was as if our guides and our higher selves just helped us make the decision by creating the circumstance, because this is also in the first protocol, first contact protocol, in that our guides help us create the synchronicities to facilitate the things we want, our highest joys. And so all of these delays and all the delays that happened since last July, and all of the delays and all the things that we thought were delays, even in finding this place, all turned out to be having exactly what we needed when we needed it. Not more, not less, exactly what we needed when we needed it. And it's our and mine attitude every day, when I'm starting to get upset or anxious or fearful, because it's all fear. It's fear of something. Fear it's not going to get done in time. Fear. It's always fear.
And all the versions of yourself, on top of the guides and the angels, all the versions of yourself are available all the time. Are perceived past and future selves, which is all now, are always available to help and assist and aid in the synchronicities and to poke you to notice them. But sometimes pioneer woman Wendy has to come out and do those kinds of things, and she gets inspired and guided to do the things that are necessary, and sometimes it's a millionaire mogul version of Wendy who needs to, have an intelligent conversation with someone for whatever the reason. And sometimes it's flower
Well,
girl.
yeah, definitely. Well, it's funny that you said that because this morning, as I'm feeling sort of anxious about some things, and I'm feeling like, I knew that I needed to change my focus of my energy because, God, that's a whole nother thing about the 17 seconds, and that the way Abraham described it is that by the time 68 seconds has passed, how many work hours? It's 2,000 work hours for every 17 seconds that we start to get spiraled into the negative path. The beginning 68 seconds is 2,000 work hours, meaning figuring it out on our own and blah, 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 blah. 2,000. And then when it goes every 17 seconds after that, that doubles. So then it's 4,000. Then it's 8,000. I'm still bewildered, honestly, by that because I know the truth of it. I know that is true beyond a shadow of a doubt that when we let ourselves spiral like that, it takes us hours and hours of what we perceive as work hours working on ourselves, when if we nipped it in the bud in that 17 seconds, and that was and so when I found myself feeling that energy today, I was like, okay, I need to redirect this energy. And the weirdest experience, I didn't even tell Dave this, the weirdest experience, I was sitting right out here on the front porch feeling this energy, and all of a sudden I saw this version of me. It was a young Japanese boy, and he was learning martial arts, and he was breaking boards. But it wasn't about, so it wasn't about the idea that he's breaking boards with angry energy. They're like, no. It's the opposite of that, isn't it? You can't break boards if you're mad. And I know nothing about the martial arts, but what I know is from observing and listening to others, it's you become one with the wood in order to break that board. Not against it, not resistance, not anger, not power. No. And that all happened within a matter of seconds. See, so these are the things that when we are getting these downloads and we're getting this information from our higher selves, it comes from another. I had no idea, and all of a sudden I felt this overwhelming love outpouring for this version of me who at such a young age has learned to refocus that energy. Not get mad at it, not ignore it, not berate it, not get upset with myself about it, but refocusing it into becoming one with what is. And Dave will tell you, I do not do that easily. It's, I get angry and rebellious about the same things everybody else does. But go ahead.
Not the now you.
So this is why, this was supposed to be, of course, just a 3 or 4 minute Friday blessing video, and look where it's brought me now. So I love all of you who even make it part of the way through these videos, let alone all the way through. So thank you for allowing me once again to share and know more of myself. And by sharing this, I hope that all of you, and I don't use the word hope anymore. Hope implies doubt, because I know that somewhere, somehow, this is touching somebody, that it's relating to somebody, and it's helping me. So we call healing, but healing is just becoming aware of all that you are and embracing that and becoming one with all that you are, even when it's not such the pleasant sides of it all, but knowing and loving that anyway. And I love Dave, that he loves me in all of those sides of me, and shows me and tells me that every single day. no matter how I'm feeling about myself, no matter any of those things, because he's not going to buy into that his belief about me, nor me him. So, and that's important, you know. That's important.
And we love hearing from all of you too. And we want to hear, add some comments. Tell us about your synchronicities.
How'd you do it? How'd you do
stories.
it the 3 days, the 3 minutes for every 30 minutes for 3 days? You know, for me, it was about, I couldn't wait to do it again. It was, I still find myself now today thinking, oh, it's time to quiet my mind. Oh, I get excited about it even. And it happens maybe more than every 30 minutes. And maybe sometimes I stray away and it happens less than that. But the idea is my awareness of it now that, oh, wait, I'm going to take a few moments to quiet my mind. So I'm my arm's tired from holding the camera up. So I'm gonna say good day to all of you. And is there any closing words or blessings from you, Dave, as well? And yes, please, we love you guys when you share with us. You know, what are your epiphanies and synchronicities and
if you have something you want to share that you want to share with everyone, we can, you know, have a Zoom meeting or something and record it privately and decide whether or not you want to post it with us.
That's a great, you know, and those are things
or get together for, you know, a gathering of a bunch of people.
Yes.
We're
So I have
we always feel as though we're not really set up yet the way we want
to be, but you know what,
So
we yes, exactly, and so we're still, you know, I'm still doing private sessions and oracle readings and light language consultations and mentoring and spiritual guidance and channeling. All of that still is there. And yes, we've been focusing a lot on our, you know, our immediate new endeavors and our new highest joys and excitements. But that does still excite us, and we're planning to do more live things. And we're excited also to explore these other new spaces to create videos from.
Here's the mailman.
So, here comes the mail. So with that, we bid you a beautiful, beautiful, glorious God and Goddess Friday and every day. You are gods and goddesses, and so yeah, keep in touch. Let us know. And Dave and I we're really excited about whether it's public or private to get together with you guys, and we do, you know, consultations together or individually. So. If any of that feels excited, I think we're getting a package, then please do keep in touch. We love you so much. I
wanted to do something different.
Yes.
With light language, but this is what they want me to say.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Sharing.
Sharing. Mwah.